Hi there, welcome to the channel. My name is Arthur from the Idea Lab. So in this video, I'm looking at an interesting raw Zimbabwe transport business, which makes just about the same as InDrive, which dominates Zimbabwe's urban areas. So this is a little known transport business, which is basically just emerging, but it makes an interesting amount of money weekly to the same level, or sometimes even surpass what InDrive drivers are making in urban Zimbabwe. In case you missed it, I did an InDrive video where I looked at the business and how it works and how much drivers are making on InDrive. So I'll put a link in the description and you can have a look at that. It will give you a good comparison with this particular business that I'm looking at in this video. So what's this business opportunity for? So people abroad or in urban areas looking out for opportunities for relatives and friends in rural Zimbabwe may find this interesting, especially women, because up to about 80% of drivers in this business are women. So again, if you have a project in rural Zimbabwe and want the EV to double up as a low-cost project vehicle, plus also generate some income for you, this could be an interesting opportunity. For example, this particular mode of transport could transport your dairy milk or your produce or your imports, but at the same time offer rides to those who need rides or transportation at a profit. It's also a good opportunity for individuals looking to generate income in rural Zimbabwe. Individuals looking for insights and inspiration about rural economy possibilities may also find this opportunity quite intriguing. So what is the business? The business is promoted as the Hamba, which means let's go. It is a last mile passenger and goods transportation business which targets rural Zimbabwe. So this business addresses traditional rural transportation problems. For example, how rural communities struggle to reach their last mile destinations. This could be outlying homesteads, shops, cattle pens, fields, among other nodes of economic social activities in the rural areas. So it empowers rural communities and it also energizes rural economies. So this is the Hamba, which is at the center of this rural business opportunity. It's a proprietary electric vehicle, which is commonly known as the e-tricycle. Okay, so it's got 3 wheels, but in this video I'm just going to be referring to it as an EV, which is basically an electric vehicle, because it is an electric vehicle. So it's been in the making for years. It's got a proprietary design that the developers pursued and eventually launched. It's now available in Zimbabwe. So it has got off-road capabilities. It has got suitable wheels and suspension. It's a 100% electric vehicle. It has got a 400 kg payload and it carries between 4 to 5 passengers. It runs on an LFP, lithium-ion battery pack, which is the lithium batteries that are trendy these days, that are common. So it's got a 100-kilometer range on a single charge, and the top speed is 25 kilometers. But I estimate that it travels between 10 and 15 kilometers when in operation. This is based on my observation. When it's working, it can even be less than that. But top speed is 25 kilometers per hour. So this company, which is running this, which is providing these EVs, has got a fleet of 300 across Zimbabwe as of September 2024. So by the end of 2024, between January and September, it had done about 1.5 million off-road kilometers in rural Zimbabwe of transportation. So this is according to the data that is available. So the Hamba concept encapsulates 2 business models. Number one is the overarching business model as run by Mobility for Africa. This is the supplier of these EVs, and the model here follows a social entrepreneurship angle, aiming to foster positive change while encouraging innovation and self-sufficiency. So the supplier, which is the Mobility for Africa, opens rural sites and brings the EVs, and locals sign up. The supplier collects daily rent-to-buy payments or installments and offers ongoing backstop support. And number 2, there's the owner-operator business model. This is a profit-driven model and the focus of this video. So those are the 2 models. The main model, which is the organization itself, how it operates and how it collects revenue from the business, and then there's the driver model itself. So in this video I'm going to be looking at the driver model in the similar fashion as the InDrive in urban Zimbabwe. So this is how it works. An interested driver, especially women, there's a focused attention to women, approaches the supplier and gets the e-tricycle. The EV typically operates from a rural business center where the EV supply is a site with a recharge station, battery recharge station. The driver has a 100-kilometer range, as mentioned, which typically lasts a whole day. And they go out onto the market, onto the transport market, and offers passengers rides and payload movement at a fee. So they would typically move dairy milk, cattle feed, farming inputs, groceries, and so on from rural business centers to the last mile destinations. So any breakdowns within a 100-kilometer radius gets backup response from the supplier. So the driver remits $10 per day to the EV supplier. This is the only operational cost really associated with this business, and it covers daily battery swap plus rent to buy installments. So the requirements to hop onto this business opportunity is that the supplier should have available sites in your rural location. There are limited sites at the moment, but it seems they're expanding across Zimbabwe. And also what happens is that at every site, they've got a cap of maximum drivers. From what I found out, the number is 40. To make business sense, competition has to be kind of regulated in that way. So this is different from InDrive. InDrive is free for all. People just come in as many as they can come onto the platform, and you just hit it out as competition. Okay, so priority is given to women, as mentioned. About 80% of drivers on this scheme are women. Men can buy the e-tricycle, but at about $2,000 cash upfront, versus rent to buy, which is the offer for women. There's also the $10 daily rent to buy installments that have to be paid every single day when you have the e-tricycle. So this business solves an acute last mile transport problem in rural Zimbabwe. This is also prevalent right across Africa. So anecdotal information shows very strong demand. If you talk to the drivers, if you see the activity on the ground, there's a lot of activity which indicates very good demand for this type of transport, which didn't previously exist. So it makes sense that a lot of people are beginning to utilize that to reach their homesteads from the business centers. So the market is mostly, again, as mentioned, to carry produce, to market inputs from the business center to the homesteads or to the fields, to pick up different things, to carry people to hospitals and clinics. So it's a well thought out business idea and social intervention by this organization, because they really serve a purpose and they're effective in reaching outlying communities that are away from the business centers. So the pros and cons of this business: limited direct competition. Site EVs are kept at about 40 per site, which means that you can predict your competition. You can predict your competition, and it's not similar to what happens with InDrive, where it's free for all and people just jump in, as many as are interested. So it's not in this case, it's not 100% open market, but it helps because rural areas have got limited economies of scale are limited, and also the purchasing power is limited. So again, the market can easily thin out if more EVs are allowed or more drivers get into the business. Low barriers to entry. It's got simplified terms and conditions and limited regulation. Low operational costs. It's got backstop support around service, as mentioned, service and repairs. It's relatively easy to break even or make a profit on a daily basis, because your only main cost is the $10 that you have to pay as an installment for rent to buy. So once the target market or once the new market accepts this mode of transportation, demand just starts to rise. At all the sites that this organization has been running this business, demand has been increasing. If you go to Manicaland, you're going to see in different places a lot of these activities, as well as in Dombosha in Harare. So here are the cons. Limited operations during the rainy season. This is an open vehicle, so there tends to be loss of revenue given the running installments that you have to pay $10 on a daily basis, which creates an income gap. There's also a continued $5 fee for battery swap even after paying for the EV at the end of the 12 months. So the battery is estimated to be worth anything up to about $4,000. So what happens is that at the end of the 12 months, you still need to continue paying for the battery swap on a daily basis at $5 per swap. So in other words, the battery remains the organization's, and you pay for the battery at $5 per day, if you want to put it that way. So another con is that the business is not scalable. There's a cap on revenue similar to that of InDrive drivers, but based on the problem it's trying to solve and its purpose, it does seem to serve the purpose, but it's obviously not the right opportunity for anyone who's looking for something that will scale, because this apparently won't scale and grow. So another con is that it is only currently available in limited locations across Zimbabwe, but it continues to expand. And apparently it is possible to approach the organization that is offering these EVs to invite them to your rural location and get them going there. So here's some seed data, which is that the cost per ride is about $5 per ride, which is 7 to 10 kilometers. 5 to 10 rides per full charge of 100 kilometers, depending on the distance, meaning that if you get a full charge, you're going to make about 5 to 10 rides per day. And daily revenue, daily collection is $30 to $40 on a daily basis. And then you've got the mentioned, once again, $10 daily rent to buy installment. And then here are the key assumptions. We are assuming that 100 kilometer range will give you a full day of operations. We're also assuming that 7 rides will be done per day at $5 each. There can be more due to short runs, for example, within a business center. So the operator eats lunch at $1.50 per day. We are also assuming that the driver has got a 6-day work week, which is Monday to Saturday, and they are resting on a Sunday or 1 day a week. So let's get into the calculations. Revenue per full charge per day, it is going to be $5 times 7 rides, which is going to be $35 a day. Revenue per kilometer, which is RPK, is going to be $35 divided by 100 kilometers per day, which is going to be 33 cents. Already on this point, if you are doing InDrive and you have got a revenue per kilometer of 33 cents, you are out of business because of the platform cost on InDrive, because of the other expenses such as insurance, such as fuel, which you don't have on these EVs in the rural areas. So weekly operational cost per 6-day week is going to be $1.50 times 6 days, which is going to give us $9. So that's the $1.50 for lunch or for and communications per day, which is going to give us $9 per week. And your weekly installment cost is going to be $10. Daily installment cost times 7 days, which is going to be $70 per week. As you'll notice here, we've got 6 days of operation, but you have got 7 days of paying the installments. So even the day that you're not working, you're supposed to pay that $10. Looking at weekly, we're going to have a weekly total cost of $70 for installments plus $9 operational cost, which is going to be $79 total weekly cost. Weekly revenue is $35 per day times 6 working days, which is going to be $210 per week. So now let's calculate our weekly gross profit, which is going to be $210 of revenue minus $79 of costs, which is going to give us $131 a week. So already this is making more than InDrive, according to my video that I did on InDrive. So our monthly gross profit on the EVs is going to be $840 in revenue minus $316 in costs, which is going to give us a monthly profit of $524 per month. So let's calculate the gross profit margin for this business, GPM. So we are going to use this formula, which is gross profit margin equals to gross profit divided by revenue times 100. So our monthly gross profit margin is going to be $524, which is our monthly gross profit over our $840 of revenue times 100, which is going to be 62.38%. So we can say here the operator keeps 62 cents for every dollar of revenue that is made, which is quite good. for every dollar that the driver makes, they're going to keep 62 cents for themselves. So yeah, this is the business opportunity in rural Zimbabwe. As mentioned earlier, it's not everywhere, but it's expanding, it's rolling out. You can check out the description here in this video. I'm going to put the links to Mobility for Africa, the guys who are running this model. You can check them out and read more, or if you want to contact them, if you want them in your location. But again, this is not a sponsored video. It's just putting out the opportunity out there and looking it through the lenses of InDrive in Harare. So you've got something like InDrive in Harare for the urban, and you've got something like Mobility for Africa, which is the EVs in rural Zimbabwe and expanding. So tell me what you think about this business opportunity. Would you recommend for someone in your rural area where it's available? Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.